what you know about the Earth being a globe.
I don't care about defending the globe.
Stop the cap.
I care about epistemology.
How do you know what you know about the Earth being a globe?
The sun sets.
The sunsets.
I mean, is this an argument or is this evidence? What is
exactly.
this?
Yeah, exactly, heretic. What is this? Sunset and the seasons, and then the time zones.
Is it a buzzword? I don't know. Is this buzzword
it's a buzzword,
epistemology?
yeah.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, it's a buzzword.
Buzzword epistemology. Okay.
Yeah, they just come and throw the buzzwords.
I know what I know through the power of buzzword.
I was expecting him to maybe appeal to the surface of the Earth, but nope.
Appeal to buzzword. Noted.
What's the buzzword?
Sunset, bruh. Throw a bruh in there for effect.
I guess if it was a flat plane, I think there'd be some implications about the sun that just we don't see.
But you don't know that because you just said I think.
Well, I kind of do sort of know that.
Kind of do sort of means you don't.
So what I do know is sort of the distances I've travelled to places in the world that are a long way from where I reside, and I see how things get smaller as they go further away, and when I sort of do trigonometry,
do you also see how they get lower?
Yes, but when they get lower, they're also getting smaller.
Right, but you can't necessarily apply that to the sun.
But also, the sun it doesn't actually set. Like, it doesn't go down to the ground, and so it would remain above the horizon at all times.
No, that's not how we see. That's not how we see that. That's not how we see. It'd have to get higher and higher for that to happen.
What do you mean?
You just agreed that things get lower as they get further away. That they appear to.
Well, yeah, they appear to. They sort of, the angular resolution gets smaller and they sort of come closer to the horizon.
Right, but you don't necessarily know if you can apply that same standard to the sun, that it should get smaller because you don't know what the sun is.
That's ridiculous. So, as much as I don't know what the sun is, I do know that the sun produces immense heat and immense light. And I can compare that to things that I do know that also produce heat and light.
Well, don't conflate it with some other thing, dude.
No, it's not conflation.
Don't equivocate here. Don't equivocate. It's not a flashlight.
Nothing else is a random magic.
It's not your cell phone. It's not a flashlight. It's not a torch. It's not a laser.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything. It's not anything on Earth.
Okay.
How do you know that celestial objects should act the same way that all the terrestrial ones do?
I don't.
Because we don't even know what that stuff is. We couldn't replicate it. You couldn't build a little sun, right, and test it out.
That's true. No, you're right. Like, we don't know what it is, okay? But what we do know are the things that we can see and touch and interact with. And it appears that because of the physics of reality, that they act in ways that coincide with, that are dictated by the physics of reality. And so it doesn't make sense that the sun would just be magic and not adhere to those same physics.
Okay. Does the air act like a lens?
Not the air, but the things in the air, sure.
So does that increase its lens effect? Does it increase with more air?
It varies it over distance and differently in different distances. It can be many different things at many different distances at the same time.
Well, we've got many different observations of the sun during a sunset. It doesn't always do the same thing.
No, the sun does always do the same thing. What changes is the conditions in which you see it through.
And you know that how?
Well, because with a basic understanding of sort of photography and lensing and how materials affect light, you can see that it seems quite clear that the sun itself isn't the thing doing the changes. It's the things in between the sun and us that are causing it to appear in different ways.
There you go. Concession right there. Thank you.
What? Go on.
Well, there you go. So you've got reasons
what do you
why.
Mean, there you go.
Well, you've got potential reasons why it might not be changing in angular size, right?
No, but none of those things correlate to changing of angular size per se. Like there's many factors and variables at play all the time.
It could be some kind of apparent phenomena, like completely unlike anything on Earth that you're trying to compare it to.
Yeah, this is true. I agree. Okay, yes, it could be. Okay, but there, like I said, there's no observations we can make of anything else, and our descriptions of reality seem to be quite exhaustive. And the sun to do the things that you think it needs to do for it to be flat, it falls entirely outside of this exhaustive list of.
It's a big ball of gas or plasma, matter or something, then yeah, those assumptions would follow. But if it's something completely mysterious and something that behaves and operates under different principles, then who knows?
But you know what I find? I think it's a bit it's quite hypocritical, right, for globers to like say that flat earthers aren't allowed to say that, you know, like it could be optical illusion or some sort of lensing effect.
No, you can do that. You can do that. But what the globe side does is also produce. They say if the sun is a ball of plasma and it's 93 million miles away, compared to the effects we see of things that produce heat and light on Earth, here are some things that are implicit about what the sun must be doing to be doing that. And the all of these assumptions, they coincide and they align. I know it's affirming the consequence from your perspective, but there's parts
not
of
from my perspective. It is by definition.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, you could get yourself out of that sort of just by being like.
I get that. No, I'm not saying that it is. Look, guys, I'm not saying that it is.
Yeah, I got it. I understand.
What I'm saying is that it works, but nothing about the flat physics can produce anything as precise or useful, because it just doesn't seem to be that that's the case. So why is there nothing useful from the flat perspective? Like, we should be able to use tangents and trigonometry just simply. It should just be a flat plane. It should work exactly as it does on paper. And it just doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah, there's ways to do that by representing it as an apparent phenomenon, and it works out. You can do it mathematically.
Stay stupid then.
We're not staying stupid, dude.
But you are. You're refusing to allow yourself to investigate why it might be doing the things it's doing if we are on a flat plane and the physics are as they are. What must be implicit about the sun? There are some things you haven't. There is nothing.
People model this out all the time and try to find ways mathematically to describe the way it must be behaving and whatnot. Okay, have you even looked at what they produced?
I've seen a few things over the time.
Like what?
I'm yet to see anything compelling. I mean, it's been 15 years, man. I can't just rack this stuff off the top of my head.
Well, you've got no way to directly test or sample the sun to demonstrate what it is. I mean, it's all going to be
have
guesswork
ways
at
to
the end of the
directly
day.
test and sample things that do produce heat and light.
Yeah,
and
things that aren't the sun, right?
In the
and you're going to equivocate those things with the sun.
The
the
reason that
assumption
steel and iron
terrestrial
and
objects
skin
must
and
behave the same way
and
that
plastic,
apparent celestial ones do. It's not
all
plastic.
material
It's not
things.
steel. It's not any of those things.
No, dude,
as far as
you're missing the point here. I know it's not those things, okay? But all of these things they exist within a framework that no human seems to have put here or is able to change the parameters of. Okay?
You don't have access
to things within, okay? But
you don't have access to the luminaries, dude, in the same way that you do those earthly things.
Goodness. I know, dude.
Hey, look, bro.
We have very strong lenses.
Bro,
we have telescopes. We have microscopes.
Listen.
We can observe these things, and when we do, they look like things that we can also observe here next to us.
Look like doesn't mean they are, dude.
No, I know it doesn't mean they are, but it's a reasonable conclusion.
No, they don't. They do not look like anything that we have here. They do not look like anything.
Yes, they do. Oh my goodness!
No,
dude.
they
These
don't.
blurry out of focus images are not.
There is nothing on Earth that resembles anything in the sky beyond the clouds.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. You're missing the point.
Hey, listen, bro.
You're stopping yourself
from
thinking critically.
Hang on a sec, bro. Listen, there would be absolutely no difference, right, to us making up stories about what we see in the sky and what's happening in the sky as to what you think is compelling.
No,
right?
but
nothing.
The difference is
do you know
when people do.
There is no difference. There is no
descriptions that we can usefully use elsewhere.
No, they're not.
And it seems to be No,
Where?
they do.
What?
They do.
Like what?
So,
like
for
what?
example,
like what?
Skin cancer, or tanning, or just like
that's got nothing to do with.
No,
that's got nothing to do with what you think the sun is. No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't. It has nothing to do.
There is a hypothesis about what the sun is, okay, and they produce solar panels based on what the sun does, okay.
No, just what?
Okay,
no, just
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether the sun is that or not, okay, but it still comports to, it seems, that the very same physics that we also experience here on Earth, or the same parameter, the same foundation of the physics. I don't quite know how to describe it.
No, that's incorrect. That's incorrect.
What do you mean it's incorrect? Why is it incorrect?
Number one, you don't.
It's incorrect.
Two things. You asked to me, and now you're just going to keep talking, right? So, two things you're going to need: gravity, and then gas in a vacuum forming its own ball. So that doesn't comport to anything we see in nature anywhere else.
No, do you comprehend though that happens at huge scales? Like the scale is
a fleeting fallacy.
Has that been observed happening?
Yeah, that's the claim, right?
Or it sounds like you're reassigned some kind of abstract model, dude. Concept.
It seems to comport and fall into the same foundational physics.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't at all.
What do you mean it doesn't?
There's no, you can't demonstrate it, bro. There's no practical demonstration.
You can't show that the ISS isn't doing that right now.
You can't show it's doing what you think it's doing.
It seems to be. I can view it through a telescope. I can watch it move through the sky exactly when they tell me that it would be at that position. That's possible. I can do that. And
is the angular size correct?
I don't know. It seems to be.
Yeah. What do you mean seems to be? No, what you're saying is they tell me it is. I believe them. You've never checked.
No. So many people have. All right, and what they all seem.
What's their name?
And like
what angular size did they get?
You're making.
So I make the claim. Your problem is you make claims, but you don't have any substantiation for any of them. You just say people have, scientists have.
There are hundreds of people out there giving us photos of the ISS.
I don't care about photos. I want the angular size.
I see the nice, pretty photos, and I think that's cool. And then
the angular
a little bit sometimes. I don't remember their names. I don't care.
Friend, I want the angular size. that comports with
you do, because
the distance and the size, the actual size. No, you don't want to think. You don't actually want to see if the angular size is consistent with the distance and the size of the ISS where it is. So that's all I need from you, but you're going to appeal to somebody nameless, faceless. I'm sure they've done it, and you have no clue. It's pathetic.
Fine. Stay stupid.
That's what you're doing. You're not really questioning anything. You're just pretending to. You're just taking the story on board that you were spoon-fed your whole life, and you're just looking for reasons to double down.
To do with what I've
You're looking for whatever loophole you can to just keep holding on to this dream.
Oh, you keep telling yourself these ridiculous ideas. Oh, they're all brainwashed.
You don't
They're
know,
all just
dude.
listening to the
You don't know.
textbooks. They're all listening
Same as
to
we don't
NASA.
know.
Keep telling
You don't
yourself
know. The
this
same as we don't
nonsense.
know.
You know something so special. It's such a grand conspiracy.
No,
like,
no,
no,
we don't
dude,
know.
It doesn't.
We don't
nothing
know.
useful comes
We
from this
don't
information.
know. The same as you don't know.
Why are you so
God, why
sure
are you
that it's
ranting,
flat?
dude?
If you don't know, how are you
No,
so
I said
sure
we don't
that
know
it's
what
a
the
flat
sun
plane?
is what I'm saying. We don't know what the
Okay.
sun is, and neither do you.
Okay.
And that's obvious in the
Okay.
way that you talk about it, because you say it seems, and you say it's consistent with, and you say things like it seems, yeah, like it could be like these other things that we're familiar with. It's the way that you talk about it just shows that you don't actually know.
When the people who
So
use
why don't you
this
just admit that you
information
don't know?
go with those hypotheses, I don't know. I never said that I do know.
Well, I know. That's my point. You don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. And so you're just kind of buying the fairy tale that you like.
Because at every stage that it's used for analysis and description, it seems to make sense and add up with everything else I do experience.
That's subjective. That's subjective.
Either it's complete magic and it's completely different to everything we experience, and it's possible to produce such magic, or it falls within the foundations of reality, as we have been able to measure so far. As people greater than I, with put more effort in than I, have
behaviors
shown
of the
us.
sun. Okay. Yeah, you understand now the physics and mechanics of the sun, right? It falls within those which have been demonstrated and measured and understood.
Well, what I do observe is that as objects, no matter how large they are, get further away, they seem to also get smaller.
Okay, so you're just going to equivocate the sun again with something on the ground that you saw appearing to shrink.
No, I'm going to equivocate it with everything else that I experience ever.
Okay, you don't experience anything like the celestial bodies on the Earth. Of earthly things, you don't experience that.
I get that, dude. I get that, all right? And that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is I experience heat, I experience light, I experience material things. And when I think about or look into the things that I do know that produce heat and light as they do, and the sizes they would have to be to produce the same heat and light that the sun does, there are some sort of implications that one comes to about what it must be, how far it must be.
It must be. Now it must be. First it was it seems, and now it must.
Well, okay, must according to sort of the hype.
No, requires all sorts of assumptions, like the assumption of the physical obstruction
depending on the factors. There are many different musts.
Well, look, it doesn't seem to me like we have the geometric horizon, right, which would be necessary to carry that conclusion.
What the fuck do you mean geometric horizon?
93 millimeter.
What do you mean geometric horizon?
How do you not know after this much time in this conversation?
Because you never also acknowledge that there are many factors involved in the atmosphere.
Oh, okay. Well, there's many factors involved in the atmosphere, so I can't necessarily predict, just in pure terms of perspective, exactly what the sun should or must or would do over a flat plane, because there's many factors involved in the atmosphere which you're neglecting.
No, but if it was a flat plane, it would be as easy as using trigonometry and then taking into consideration these variables produced by the atmosphere. Like it would be that simple.
Which ones are those? Which ones are those? And how did you do that? Which ones are those? Which ones are those? And how did you do that for the globe assumption?
No, if it's a flat plane, okay, you can draw a flat straight line.
No, just give me the same variables, right? Okay, I get it. I get that part, the perspective and all that, and the assumption that it's just like a material body like everything else you see on the ground. Now, just take those variables of the atmosphere that you're claiming, apply that to the globe now, and show me that work.
What do you mean?
The same exact thing you're talking about, except for a globe. Same variables for the atmosphere, etc. Take all that and show me that work for the globe.
So what we see seems to be that what the globe would produce.
Oh, you're just saying that now.
Something as bright as the sun that produces as much heat as the sun on a flat surface. I don't believe something like that would disappear when cause nighttime. I don't think it would ever be nighttime if it was a flat plane. Because that sun is always the same distance. It would need to be at least. It's within a tolerance sort of whatever it is, hundreds of miles, but over thousands or millions.
Basically the same distance all the time you're trying to claim. And the only thing that obstructs it is the Earth curvature. So demonstrate that with the Earth curvature demonstration, because you just appealed to atmospherics and the effects of the air and light passing through it and whatever, distorting your vision of what you're looking at, right? You just did that, right, to say that we don't see the geometric horizon blocking the sun and all that. So, why don't you show us the work then? Show us how all those atmospherics that you say are affecting the way that we see the Earth, right? Show us how those atmospherics then would affect the sun being a smaller thing on a flat plane. Because you're saying that the air and the variables of it, they would affect it differently than what we see.
No, it doesn't affect it. It affects your perspective of it.
Yeah, I got that. I know. That's what I mean, dude.
Okay. Cool.
It's round.
Yeah, but you didn't do this for the globe, though. You didn't see. This is the thing I'm pointing out: is you didn't actually take all these variables into consideration that you're claiming, and didn't compare it to a globe and everything, and go, okay, all right, look, here's what it does. Now let's do a side by side. Take all those variables, except make the Earth flat, and see what it does. You didn't do that.
Well, I've done it in my head. All right.
What about the unknowns? What about the unknowns?
We can see that on YouTube.
I imagine a flat
What about the unknowns? What about the unknowns?
Yes, there are many unknowns.
Yeah.
But there are things we can know about. There are implications about sort of imagining a flat plane and what something as bright and hot as the sun would do if it was over
you have to make excuses
all the time.
It gets to a point where you have to actually make excuses because guess what? The sun slows down at some point during its journey across the sky.
Where? When?
It slows down. It slows down towards the horizon. It does.
No.
It no longer maintains that 15 degrees per hour.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And guess what else? When you say that you can still see the sun, kissing the horizon, or partially obscured at the horizon, you're saying that's not really there. It's actually below the horizon. Yeah.
Listen. Look, like the sun goes to that side, like to below the other part of the Earth, and the other part of the Earth like goes to night.
Yeah, we understand your claim. Yeah, just hold on. Yeah, we already know your claim. We're not confused about what you're claiming, dude. We're claiming that you're wrong.
Globers actually think the sunset. Globers actually think the sunset is an illusion.
No,
and then demand that we explain. No, it's not. Hey, bro. Hey, listen. I wasn't finished, bro. Globers actually claim the sunset is. Listen, Globers. You can look this up. It's called the sunset illusion. Globers actually think the sunset is an illusion, and then come in and demand that we explain sunsets. I think that's pretty hypocritical.
You've made a conflation about what that means. Okay, it's an illusion so far as there's this idea that because of its distance away, because of the speed of light, because of gravity, lensing, blah, 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 that it's actually disappeared 8 minutes before we see it actually disappear. All right. It's not that it's entirely an illusion, that the sunset is an entirely illusion. It's that what we're seeing is an optical illusion because of the parameters involved in the matter. Okay, so something physical is actually occurring, but because of the delay of the speed of light, etc., the distance over that the sun is away, it's an optical illusion of something that is literally happening. So the two things are true at the same time. So for you to just palm it off as, oh, let's say it's illusion, therefore we can consider it entirely an illusion and it's magic, is just absolute nonsense.
No, you should not. I think, guys, just overcomplicate this. Just it's random. Like,
one second, I didn't even say it was magic or anything. I said literally what you
say
said.
It's an illusion.
I did
and
not
you try to
strawman.
summarize the whole thing as, oh, Globers say it's an illusion, and leave it at that, and not acknowledge that it's an optical illusion of a physical occurrence. That's very
an optical illusion.
Yes, of a physical occurrence.
Listen, you guys think that when you're seeing the sun at the horizon, it's not even there.
Dude, yes, this can be true at the same time as it being a physical occurrence because of the distances
and I'm saying how hypocritical it is, right? I'm saying how hypocritical it is.
You're just not comprehending what's the parameters involved. There's no contradiction if you actually comprehend what the other information they provide at the same time. 93 million miles, the speed of light, the shape of Earth, gravity, like all of these things are also part.
Talk.
No, but you're coming to a ridiculous
with all
conclusion
these other imaginary things that you make up.
Relevant information.
No, I'm not. I'm saying how hypocritical it is. I'm saying how
it's not hypocritical. It's not hypocritical.
Holy shit.
If you consider all of the information, there's no contradiction.
Yes, it still is hypocritical. You guys,
hypocritical, mate.
Where is the contradiction?
I can't get a word out.
Where is
I can't get a fucking word out.
I'll show you where the contradiction is. It's all assumptions, so you predicate everything on top of assumptions on top of assumptions. That information that you're talking about, that's not known. It's an assumption.
So that would come under claim stacking.
Yeah, and he did make the claim.
Just made there.
He did make the claim of how the variables, so-called, of the atmosphere are going to affect the way that you're looking at the geometry, that it has to be there for what he says is happening to the sun to actually happen. And he says that those same variables, when applied to a flat Earth, we wouldn't get what we see. But he never showed that. He's just saying these things. Oh, he just ran away. He always does that.
That's probably because I'm going to throw it out there that the next thing would be to back up said claims.
Yeah, he just says things and gets pressed on them, and then he gets mad and leaves.
He didn't want to let you have a talk, T-Dub.
Who was that? Eggs? Sounded like...
No.
Less than 3 zists or whatever.
Also known as something Chief Kegwin.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's always like, I don't care about being right. I'm not trying to win. And he's like, it seems like I think it makes the most sense. And then he gets really mad. You think if he didn't really care about winning or the outcome or whatever, that, he wouldn't be so emotional, but...
Oh,
bro, if he doesn't care, why is he here? Why is he coming here trying to convince us?
Exactly.
I know. Why is he just like, well, here's what I think. I think it works like that. Yeah, you could be right. I don't know. But to me, seems like this. He's definitely bought in.
Oh, where's Batman? F.E. Batman, I've got to apologise, mate. That little clip of Duffy with his final whatever it was, I could only last 35 seconds. That's all I could watch. He's got one of those squeaky little voices that goes through me.
This is not one of the Batman speaking times.
Yeah, I know. He listens, though. He's probably
might
laughing.
be busy with his paddles. Do they call them paddles? Are they ping pong paddles or ping pong bats?
Paddles.
They are paddles? Okay.
Matrix is here with his awesome Aussie accent. Matrix, can you say what a load of horse shit?
What a load of horse shit. Is that Anyways.
Is he still in the side chat trying to defend his position?
Yeah.
Was.
These assumptions come with significant substantiations, he said.
What with more assumptions needed and more inventions of reasons why the observations don't match their expectations?
Yep. Rationalizations, ad hoc, doubling down. It seems like it makes sense.
Exactly.
Until it doesn't.
Yeah, all the time. Believe. Do you believe? Don't you believe in gravity? It seems like it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and a lot of words ending with TION. Assumptions, substantiations.
So, I mean, like, he's got all this criticism for the flat world, the one that we actually experience, observe, practically use, measure. And doesn't really seem to hold the same standard for his ball, which is a pretty common thing that we encounter. Yeah, no problem with just saying, oh, atmospheric variables, whatever those are. And that just takes care of that when it comes to not actually seeing this globe on the ground. Then we got to be super rigorous and right down to the fine detail. And we got to account for all the knowns and unknowns when it comes to anything related to the reality we actually experience, measure, demonstrate. Well, I guess that's religion for you.
And they always claim that. One could have no night on a flat Earth. But ignore.
It seems
but
to
ignore.
me it would always be daytime.
But ignore that they are hanging to the assumption that